What's going on, guys? This is the DeFi Crypto Alliance show where we're doing our best to be the bridge between our fellow real estate investors and entrepreneurs and the cryptocurrency world, where we feel like cryptocurrency is the biggest opportunity over the next few years, and it's not even close. So, welcome along on the journey. We're pumped to have you guys. Corey, take it away.
Absolutely. Good morning, Hexakins, or good afternoon, Ted. You're probably somewhere on the East Coast like myself. I'm in EST time right now, so it's noon. But I feel like half of our viewers are in morning time, but who knows? But good morning, man. This has been a beautiful morning. It's been a beautiful week. I mean, what am I talking about? This has been absolutely insane as far as the pump is still continuing on. Even this morning, I just saw $907,000 real dollars come across the bid. And I'm looking at the hex chart now. It's up another green candle on the daily. Pulsechain is up another green candle on the daily. Pulsechain and even some ink. People are buying ink. And I guess I'll tell you what, guys, I bought a little bit of ink yesterday. I won't be shameful. I'm trying to be a little bit of a contrarian here. I've got some pretty good sized bags with the other stuff. I don't have already any ink. Like, you know what? Let's throw a little bit of money and just a little bit of money towards the ink, what I would normally throw towards meme coins, and see what it does. Because remember, right, guys, it literally just a few months ago came down off of 80x from where it was its low was at. I mean, ink pumped so incredibly hard. It's only at a 20 million market cap right now. That's a 10x lower than PulseX is. It's a 10x lower. I mean, yeah. And actually, it might be a 20x. I don't know what the market cap of Pulse is right now. It might be Pulse might be at 600 million. I can't remember. But yeah, wild, absolutely wild.
Yeah, what is that?
600 million market cap for Pulse.
Yeah.
So, and then Ink is at 20 million market cap. So when Ink wants to move, I feel like it has the capability of doing it when it wants to do it. And it can be something as simple as like, hey, Richard Hart makes a tweet, PulseX, we're going to have size scheme, we're going to have limit orders, or maybe like Ink is the governance token. Who knows? It could be anything to really pump that. And it wouldn't take a lot with a $20 million market cap in comparison to Pulse or even Hex. What is PHEX right now? That is a $10 billion market cap. Is that right there, Dane? What is PHEX?
That's what it says. Yeah, here, let me zoom in.
10 billion? That's wild. And EHEX and EHEX have been ripping like that with market caps in the billions. This is amazing. I love this ecosystem. You guys are amazing, and this has been absolutely beautiful this week.
Oh, it's so fun. And in fact, if you look at all of Richard Hart's tokens, yeah, the incentive token is the one that's ripped the least. So yeah, I mean, one could argue that there's opportunity there.
I guess a new farm too with the PulseX would, I think, rip the incentive token if the farm had the incentive token as part of it. I think that too, with a very high APY attached to it. Something like that.
Yeah, I'm curious how much that would affect the because we saw Ink just run because of that initially. The tricky thing, or one of the interesting things, is the only way to get Ink early on was to buy it off the market, and that's what pushed the price so high. So a lot of people have been farming it now for a number of months. Would a new Ink farm do much? I wonder. I'm curious.
But there's only $20 million worth of Ink out. It's not like it's
not a ton.
It's not as much as it seems, right? Like, I mean, when you compare it to other cryptos, I mean, even the PHUX token is as a higher market cap than Ink.
Oh, that's interesting. Let's look at that.
Yeah, right there. It's $35 million.
That's a good point. And it's moved nice. In fact, if you look at it's moved harder in the last 2 months than the Ink token has. Yeah. It's interesting.
It just takes one little bullish news from RH to move that token, and it was rocket. It will because it's it doesn't have a lot of weight weighing it down like you do in these other assets. Even though these other assets are still mooning with all the weight weighing it down because now we have more buyers than sellers, which is, man, I can't believe we're saying that. We're buyers and sellers. That's amazing.
Yeah.
I didn't think we'd ever get here.
Well, and it's interesting to look at something like, man, shout out to B Roots. I thought he nailed this. I saw this tweet the other day and I was like, why was I so stupid? He said, you know, if you participate in a sacrifice, you essentially bought into round 2 of the ICO disaster from a bull run ago, where you were buying all this stuff. A lot of these tokens have launched with very little liquidity, and everybody was a seller, and you got destroyed on just about everything that had a sacrifice. And I was like, he puts it that way. Why didn't I think about it in that respect? You know, it's nice. It's nice to see something like Mintra is coming back a little bit.
Yeah, I'm even on it. I'm even
on your sacrifice.
Like, I don't know what bonus.
Are you sure? Are you sure you're even?
Yep, I'm even.
Okay,
I'll check it. I will check it right now while we're on stream. I have not been down that. I've been down maybe at most 20% on my sacrifice on Mintra. At most.
Okay.
I mean, I'll just tell this. I'm $650 down right now.
Okay.
Like,
what is that in percentage? Like, what does that look like?
Well, I mean, I sacrificed $10,000 just so
that's not bad. Yeah. Okay. So you're not down much.
I sacrificed 10 grand and I'm $650 down. Like, I'm gonna take it. Whatever. Like, I could go swap into Pulse right now, and I would be like, okay, whatever. But I'm gonna hold for a little bit. I'm gonna see what they're gonna launch. I feel like if you're gonna do some buy the rumors, sell the news, you need to wait for the protocol to launch. Agreed. It's not out yet. We don't know what it's about, what it's going to do. Like, I mean, it could be something really cool. It could be something that's crappy. We'll see. And that's the gamble I'm taking by holding the Mintra. Because if it sucks, then everyone will dump their Mintra. If it does well, then you have Pulse. So who knows?
Sure.
But yeah, I mean, that's. I mean, there's not a lot of liquidity. He's getting a lot of heat for that. Whatever. I mean, he can add liquidity and maybe when the protocol launches, maybe he just wanted to give everyone their coins. Like, I don't want to give him too much heat until everything is out. And then if he doesn't provide any liquidity and it's like, okay, maybe then we can give him some heat for it. But right now, it's partially done. All we have is our coin. It's not like, I feel like people are being too hard on him at this point. Let's let him finish the job. Let's let him finish.
That's fair. That's a fair take. This is a good question, Corey. This is one for you.
If you made big gains in January and moved to PR in June, is that tax free on gains in January sales? So, if you made yes, if you made big gains in January and you came out in June, your cost basis now is off of that year. So when you enter Puerto Rico and you're pregnant with crypto, that is now whatever. If you're up that year coming into Puerto Rico, right, you're going to pay a difference from your cost basis. Yes, absolutely. That's why ideally you want to come to the island when either you're even on your crypto or even down on your crypto. You move out here. So like moving out here this year for me was really ideal because I can claim loss probably on the tax year because I get to kind of put my pole in the sand, if you will, and tell them what day I want to do it within the year. So I'll be able to do it. Like I can do it pre-SAC or pre-launch if that made more sense, or maybe it makes more sense after post-SEC FUD when I want to claim my portfolio to IRS for Puerto Rico. And but if you made the gains and those gains stayed, if you were still up on that portfolio coming into June or the remainder of the year, you're gonna be paying taxes.
Yep. So it's interesting. So I'm even on. Well, let me share this. So I'm on Piteous. Oh, you can see my screen. So I'm on
I'm up
Piteous.
on Piteous too.
I'm doing, I put in 10K worth of pull to try to swap that to Mintria, 16% slippage.
Yeah, there's a lot of, there's no liquidity. There's just no liquidity. The value, I have my value, but if I were to sell it, I'd probably get like 15,
you get
20%.
hit a little bit, sure.
I get hit if I wanted to sell it. Just because, he's not providing liquidity. But like I said, let's just let him finish the protocol. Like, after he launches the protocol and everything's, it's been out for a minute, like, then we can go, hey, bro, you need to have some liquidity, because people who want to sell should be able to sell. That's just that's part of crypto. And if people want to buy, how can they buy? I don't want to go make a $10,000 buy order if I'm going to get 20% slippage. That's not cool. That is not cool. I did not want to experience that kind of slippage getting into a coin. That's a meme coin now. I'll just go buy a meme coin then.
Right. Right. Oh, that's a great take. Yeah, nice job, Super Snake. Good for you. Building a position in Tetra. I used my Mintra sack to add more Tetra to my bags. Was able to get out at 015 before the giant dump. Nice. Very nice.
Cool.
Very nice.
Very, very nice. When it first launched,
props to the Tetra guys. Like, this is this is the time to launch, in my opinion. Things are starting to run. Like, this is the time to launch. I don't think it's a terrible idea to keep liquidity relatively thin to try to mitigate big sells. Until you have the protocol up, you give it a little bit of time, you let things settle in, then you can always bootstrap and add liquidity from there. I don't think that's too crazy.
Yeah, I'm excited for those guys. I really feel like they're going to be the sleeping giant. If they pull off everything they're saying that they're going to do, it's going to be an absolutely wild ride with those guys. I feel like they're so innovative that this will revolutionize blockchain as a whole. I really do, man. It's that kind of technology that they're trying to develop here.
Are you talking about Mintra or Tetra?
Tetra. Oh, Tetra.
Okay, because I don't know about that.
You're like, Mintra? Like, that's going to revolutionize blockchain as a whole? Well, crap. You're like, didn't OpenSea do that shit?
I'm with you. I think Tetra's interesting. In fact, I'm up a nice, not quite a double, but it's getting closer to a double on my Tetra, which is nice.
Yeah. People are starting to, kind of buy it. They're nibbling at it because they know it's coming around the corner. They're still trying to build their positions, and like I said, the only downfall would be like if they were unable to produce what they're promising to produce, right? What they're talking about and produce, if they fell short, or if there's something wrong with the code or whatever. I mean, we play in crypto. This is the risk we take. But if they pull it off, you better hold on to your shorts. That's my opinion.
Yep, agreed. I'm with you. Huge upside. Tetra's coming. In fact, they're really close. I think we're supposed to have some intriguing updates. They're even talking about releasing dates this Friday. Excuse me. For launches of portions of their protocol. So that's exciting. In fact, Corey, so Liquid Loans came out, got everybody excited about the Fetch Oracle that they're gonna launch, and then there's supposedly a bug that was found, and now it's weeks away type of thing. Honestly, like, if it were me, I wouldn't say any dates until I was like 100% solid. Like, we're freaking launching this thing. Everything's come back from audits clean. Like, there's just there's no sense in ruffling some feathers. Everyone is already so ruffled from the sacks. Man, it's unfortunate.
Yeah,
but it's coming.
It's coming. He did say weeks, not months. So take that for however you want to take it. We've seen weeks turn into months and months turn into years.
Yes.
That's for sure. In this ecosystem, that's what we've seen. And so, but man, we really want this Oracle to come out, because man, that is really when things can really heat up, and the timing still could be good. I mean, if we're out in November-ish, maybe even December, if it really pushed out that far, okay, end of the year, Oracle comes and all these protocols launch going into the new year when we're starting to really heat up and we're kind of going to that Bitcoin halving. Timing still could be pretty good. Nice DeFi. Now we're going to be like a DeFi winner. Instead of a DeFi summer, we're going to get a DeFi winner. So nice little Christmas present with all these protocols launching. And it'll be fun, man. It'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it will. Yeah, Liam, I think that's a good take. Yeah, Liquidity and Teller have been running flawlessly on these. It must be, I mean, if I had to guess, I don't know, we're not developers, but they said they're trying to create some cool game mechanics to Teller and make that interesting. I imagine that's probably where, they ran into some issues. If I had to guess, I don't know though.
Yeah, I don't know either, man. Or it could just be an excuse. Whatever.
Who knows?
Who
knows? Oh man, you punting that out 2 years. That was
2 weeks. Yeah, tech is hard.
Yeah.
But I got one for you, Dana. I want your opinion on something. What are your thoughts? And this is kind of a little bit of the tinfoil hat. A little bit of some insider whales knowing that Richard Hart already beat the SEC and they're going to dismiss it, and that's why we're pumping. The insider whales know.
Freaking Gary Gensler's on these wallets buying in before.
Right. And that people are being speculated that Richard Hart's giving clues with his tweets with the I win and I won at the end of his tweets. And that there's some whales, there's always somebody front running the news. Like you see it everywhere. That's why they actually say that's why points, because they're front running right now. They're front running the ETF, and they've already got a ticker made for the Bitcoin ETF. Right. So that's why they're in Bitcoin. It wicked up, I think, to 37K, if I'm not mistaken.
It's been flying.
Yeah, where's our residential coin?
Yeah, where's Briz at?
I don't know if he's in here. Maybe he could shine some light on that. But I mean, that's usually what you see in markets. I mean, we even saw when SEC FUD came out. Now, it didn't come out we didn't see it weeks in advance. We saw I remember that morning, it dumped. It was down already 50%. By the time the SEC news had hit my and I'm pretty active in the community on Twitter, I'm on Telegram, I was very shocked. So by the time I heard it, I couldn't sell my bags. I already got demolished, right? And it was all right. Yeah. Are we seeing the same on the other end?
I'm with you when that news dropped. Yeah, it was already, and we heard about it within the first, I want to say 2 minutes of the article being released. Yeah, I went over there because I was like, man, maybe I'll sell something, but there's already such a big red candle that I still could have sold and rebought more, actually a fairly good amount. But the red candle is already so big that I was like, man, it felt too dangerous. I was like, I don't want to be the seller now. And then, then off we go. So, yeah.
Me too.
But here, okay. So I think it's an interesting theory. And in fact, I think that it makes some sense. As far as Richard already having won, I don't know about that. I think that if that were the case, somebody in the community would have found the documentation. Somebody would have released it on. Somebody would have found it. So I don't know about officially winning, but definitely, I mean, there's points where you get to in a lawsuit where it becomes, or I should say, it can become quite clear of how the lawsuit is likely to shake out. And maybe some of those clarifying things have come to light in the case with people that are more intimately involved with the case itself.
That's a good point.
Buying,
I like that. And
I could see that.
There's a lot of people who are a lot smarter with law and law. Even though I've had my fair share of lawsuits, I'm definitely not I have an attorney the whole time, and I have no clue what I never know what's going on. I have to tell my attorney, please tell me what we're doing. Like I'm a third grader. Like what do I got to do? Am I paying them money right now, or are we going back to another case? What's going on? I never know what's going on, and so like that's probably something. There's a lot of people who are smart and really they're really in tune with this. And probably people, you can imagine people with big money, they're going to be really in tune, or they're going to be paying people who are in tune, people who are in tune to this stuff on a very deep, granular level, more than what we are. I mean,
well, look at point in case. I think it's fascinating to consider. Freaking like Nancy Pelosi is the best trader in stock market history. She's not the freaking best trader. She just has insider information. She's not special. If we had that insider information, we'd make a grip too. And and so like there's always, and imagine, I mean, once again, like imagine now ethics and legalities aside, we're not going to debate those, but like point in case, imagine if you were a crypto lawyer and you were the ones taking cases like this. Are you telling me that some of those guys might not have wallets on the sideline that they're acting on, or people that they're giving information to that are acting on their behalf? Stuff like that is going on in the background. It's a fact. And so like, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if that theory holds some water.
How do we rub elbows with these guys? If any of you guys are in the chat have some insider information and you help me and Dane out, I tell you what, I'll fly all you guys to Puerto Rico, and we'll go have the biggest party that we possibly can have. We'll just give us some hints.
I mean, to your credit, I think Richard is theoretically like, are those hints? I don't know.
Who knows? But it's fun to think about, and obviously we're biased, so
yeah, absolutely.
You can't ask us.
One of my big takeaways, and I'm waiting to see how things play out, but I'm considering rotating not a lot, but a few potential stragglers in my portfolio as we're seeing this pump. I mean, it's really insightful to see what has ran along within reasonable measure of the Richard Hart tokens, and what is lagged fairly significantly. And there's been a few that I've been watching that, have lagged a reasonable amount behind the Richard Hart tokens, especially if tokens are lagging behind the Ink token, for instance, in their appreciation. I'm taking a really hard look at those things and considering rotating out of them into other things.
That's a really good point. Yeah, I haven't really thought about that. You're going to make me do a bit of an audit on my portfolio to see because everything's kind of been pumping in general, whether it's 5% on the weekly or 300, 400, 500, whatever EX did. I don't even know what it did. It was ridiculous. Yeah, that's a very good point, because this is kind of an insight to what will happen when money is flowing into the ecosystem. And, we can expect this to happen at a much more high volatility in the bull run. And it could be 10x this in the bull run when real money is coming over that bridge. And I was watching it reminds me, I was watching what's his name this morning, the guy who we're pamping today. What's his name? Ivan on Tech was saying too, Dane, this is very similar to what your comment was. He goes, if you should be looking in your portfolio right now, and these guys, they're all about adding in 30, 40, 50 coins, right? Like Ivan on Tech, Randomar. That's how they play this game. And he's like, if you're looking at your portfolio right now, this is going to give you a glimpse, just a small glimpse into the bull run, and you see in your portfolio none of your coins performing, get rid of them. That was his advice this morning, because a lot of ecosystems are kind of going pump right now, or pamp. We're all pamping. I love that guy. He's so hilarious, dude. I love that guy. But that's very good insight. You should be looking at your portfolio. You have your blue chips. The blue chips are running really good. I feel like blue chips will continue to run good. And we all want our speculative assets that we hold on the sideline, whether they're the third-party protocols or even meme coins, right? Like, there's nothing wrong with you memeing, guys. I invite all you guys to come to Pulsechain, but you should give it a good hard look. Yeah, if you're lagging behind the ink token, that's a good indicator, man.
Don't you think that's like a reasonable benchmark to say, gosh,
I
if
like
we lag behind?
I do, man. I like it. We might want to
And
talk about,
especially if it hasn't. Okay. So let me give a caveat, and this is my thought process. And if you can help me fine tune this over the next couple of weeks, I love your insights. I'd like to go back to this and see if we can develop some sort of framework here that makes sense. So my current benchmark I'm using is the ink token. If things that I own have lagged, in at least and now me and Corey pretty well, like almost everything we own is in the Pulsechain ecosystem. So I'm looking Pulsechain, I'm using ink as the qualifier and saying, hey, if you've lagged behind ink, maybe you're not something that I want to be holding. And with the idea that if maybe some of this stuff is pumped before. I'm not going to say anything in particular, but there's a couple of tokens here that like ran really nicely before all of this.
right.
For use case, I mean that's different. So I'm not necessarily throwing those out. But if you've been around a little bit and you're not running within relative measure of the rest of this stuff, there's something to be said about taking a hard look at that and considering whether or not that's a longer term hold or not. I've got one that I've mentally axed already. I haven't swapped out of it yet, but I've got one that I've mentally axed already, and it's interesting to consider. One of the things I'm waiting for is I want to be a little bit patient to see if some of this money that was pumped in the Richard Hart stuff, if they rotate that to some of the other third party stuff.
There'll be some of that.
And I want to see, because we know patience has been the name of the game in this bear market. So I don't want to be too hasty to rotate out of things and shoot myself in the foot. So I want to wait and see, maybe it's over the next few weeks to see where money flows and how some of this stuff might kind of balance out. But I've got one on my hit list already in my portfolio.
I like it, man. That's a very, I think it's a very acute and strategic strategy, because I think we really are getting a glimpse into right now what a bull market could look like. This is, just a speck on the radar what the bull market can bring. But we're in the beginning of it. This is it. Like, guys, this is what this little activity that we got. I mean, guys, we have like $1 million coming over the bridge, and it's not even full bull market yet. And I'm talking about $1 million a day. Like we had 907,000 this morning. I know it was like almost 2 million yesterday. I think it was about 1.7. I mean, this is like on a daily, not even in the bull market. Like, what are we going to see when full bull market? I remember Sami did a tweet, or not a tweet. He did a YouTube show yesterday. What would it take for Pulse to hit a penny? Well, you would need a 3.5 million people to bring $100 in each. And that would assume a selling. So that's like impossible, right? Like, you're going to have a shit ton of selling going up to that number.
No, that was to do 100x, wasn't it? I don't think that was just to get to. Oh, you said a penny. I'm sorry.
A penny. That's to get to a penny, which is not. I mean, when you think about that, because of all the money that's being in now, it's really not that.
Is that
far.
35 million? Is that 35 million bucks?
So what is 3.5 times 100? So that would be what, 350 million, I think.
350. Oh yeah, you're right. 350 million.
350 million. So I mean, obviously you need to see like orders coming over the bridge at like $5 million chunks. A little bit larger than we're seeing now. But like I said, we're looking. This is just a tip. We're just starting. And so like it's very interesting if we see really in the bull market. I think, hey, anything's possible. I don't like being the moon boy, but we might be able to get close to that number. I mean, who knows? Like,
well, there's a certain wallet that holds the majority of the DAI supply. Might some of that come over?
That wallet could definitely do some serious damage.
Yep.
But
who knows?
But we gotta cut this one short today, Dane, because we have a call, onboarding call, guys. Always onboarding is what our mission is. So we got to keep this one a little bit short. We appreciate and love every single one of you guys, though, for tuning in. We will be back tomorrow, and we're going to try to be back. And if we're back, we're having Dylan from the Fiat team, Fiat Famous and Fox. He's going to come on with us, and it's going to be a lot of fun talking about this new pump with somebody who's been in the ecosystem. He's an OG, and talk about how we can utilize some more pH stuff to capitalize on this pumping. I saw that traders have been winning. The longs have been paid out, bro. The longs are getting paid out. It is insane. I'm like, man, why didn't I just do like a couple $100 long? Damn it. You know, you just like, you always start thinking like, Corey, you're not a trader. You're not going to go do that. It's like, whatever. So,
yeah. So catch us tomorrow, guys. It'll be fun to have Dylan on. We appreciate your commentary here. And like I said, help us refine some of these ideas over the next few weeks. It'll be cool to see.
Yep. Peace, love, guys. Keep the green candles coming.
Yep. Have a good